Okay, welcome back. We're glad to have you, and we're going to be talking about fun, fantastic facilitation. And I know you might be wondering, how could facilitation be fun? Well, some of the key things that you have to have, I believe there's 5 big rocks. And one of them is preparation. Another is delivery / nerves. We've got to talk about nerves. Then what facilitation is not. I know a lot of you are platform speakers. Platform speaking and facilitation, 2 different things. How adults learn. Adult learning is very important when you're facilitating because, you know what? It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about them. And then we're going to follow up with how we handle closing questions and questions in general. So prep. The first 2 items are actually pre-prep before you even get to the presentation. I would suggest you audio tape, or if you got the money, videotape yourself. You're going to learn so much by being able to see where are your gestures. You know, do you put yourself like this and in the fig leaf, which is not a good idea? Do you lock your hands together and you lean on the podium? You'll be able to see those things and correct them because you'll see, oh my goodness, I never knew I did that. Next thing, triple check your materials. Nothing's worse than to hand something out with a spelling error. 20% of the crowd is going to go, this guy's an idiot, I'm not listening, he doesn't know how to spell. And that's not true. The next thing, you're all going to argue with me, but I hope to convince you, but at the end of the day, that it's true. You want to be there 2 hours before your go time, and I'll explain that in a minute. Triple check your equipment. If I had $1 for every time somebody says, is this mic on? Is this mic on? Okay, I can't get my equipment, it's not working, you know, all of a sudden you're starting on a really negative note. You don't know how to run your equipment. Easily done by checking. In other words, 3 checks means you check it 3 times. You know, when you first get there, right before everybody comes, and then right before you go on and have some way of checking it. What do you do with all that extra time? Network. Now, I'm not talking about trying to get a job. You network with the audience. You find out who they are, what their story is, what they hope to learn today, and what was last month's speaker like. So you can incorporate, you might even get, if you're really lucky, a funny story that applies to this group and make a side in. It is not about you. Very important as a facilitator. So we've talked about prep. Let's move on to the next topic, which is delivery nerves. Johnny Carson, every night for 20, 25 years, would go out and put on a show. I guarantee you, almost every night, he was nervous. If Johnny Carson is going to be nervous after all that time, you are too. The good news is that period of time can be about 15 to 45 seconds. So what you need to figure out is have something extremely strong and powerful in the beginning that you know cold, that I could wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you could deliver it. And that way you'll be able to hide. You'll still be nervous, but you'll be able to hide it from your audience. If I could give you one topic, it would be slow down. Most beginning speakers or people doing facilitation, they want to go fast. I'm going fast today, by the way, because I only have 5 minutes. Practice impromptu. That might sound oxymoronic. But what you need to know is that the questions you're going to be asked, you probably know in advance. So why don't you prepare the answers so that you sound totally off the cuff and absolutely brilliant. When your pants are on fire, and I'm not talking about literal pants, but your notes blow up, the lighting goes out, the air conditioning goes out, you need to relax and just handle it. I will tell you, if your notes blew all over the place, you could go pick them all up. Half of your audience would never even notice it happen. So please don't say, oh my goodness, my notes blew all over the place, and let us all know that your pants are on fire. You will have critics. The best way to deal with a critic is to listen and say, well, thank you very much, I appreciate that. If he's exceptionally bad, let the audience handle him, because the audience will. The audience is on your side almost all the time. Lastly, you've got a plan, but do not fall in love with your plan, because I guarantee it will change. It is not about you. Remember that as a facilitator, it's always about your audience. Next point, what facilitation is not? Now, you might be used to giving a lecture, a workshop. You might used to being a SME where you know all the answers. That's not the case. As you are a facilitator, it's getting your audience to discover what's important to them. If they discover it, they'll believe it. If you're having fun, they'll have fun. Start and finish strong. Make them sorry that you stopped talking. It's not about you.